Welcome back, everyone, for today's video. Today I'm going to be recapping one of the rated games of the week held here at Chess Zone between myself and Dhruva Movva. Now, as you may know, Dhruva Movva is a kid. He's a very strong player. Covered him on the channel before. Friday Night Quads. Whole video just about Dhruva and talking about his recent rating surge. So I know this kid was a very strong player. He's beaten me before. And going into this, I knew that this would not be an easy game, as he is almost 100 points higher rated than me. And also, where I am, there was a bit of a snowstorm, so schools were, well, not snowstorm, but it was just really cold weather, possibility of snow. And schools and extracurriculars were canceled, so... But the roads were relatively safe, so I decided to take advantage of this and go play at Chess Zone because I usually have orchestra rehearsal on Tuesdays, and today was not the case, so I made good use. And also, I'm filming this recap on a different device, so that way the video takes up the entire screen. It's not just a small vertical area like for my phone, so hope you guys like that better. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump straight into the action here. So, Dhruva begins the game with e4. I go e5, knight f3, knight c6. And Dhruva plays his Ruy Lopez, which is what he did against me last time. And last time I played the move a6. But here I decided to go with the Berlin variation, knight f6. And most people here, this is a very drawn version of the Ruy Lopez. Common move here is to go castles, knight takes e4, and then to go d4, knight d6, takes, knight f5, and you trade the queens like that. And like 8 out of 10 times, this will end up being a draw. So, yeah, this tends to be a more drawn version of the Ruy Lopez. But here Dhruva plays this move d4, which is one of the less common sidelines, and I think he played this against me last time if my memory isn't failing. So I go ahead and take, which is what I think I did last time too. Castles, and not a good idea to take the pawn on e4 because you're just running into trouble. White already gets the rook on the e file, knight's pinned, and you only have like one move, f5, and then I can take here, hit your f5 pawn, and then this is just not a pleasant position. Knight takes, queen takes. See, yeah, like you have to find these only moves here just to not even be. You're still worse. Like you shouldn't take the pawn. That's the point I'm trying to make. I go bishop e7 to keep the e file shut. He plays rook e1, castles, e5, knight d5, and I thought Dhruva would take a d4, get his pawn back. But he waits a bit. He plays the move c3. He's trying to get the two center pawns. And I thought maybe c4 was a little bit better because it attacks the knight. But c3 is fine. c3 is fine. And at this point, we were blitzing this out. I had 58 minutes and he had 57 minutes. So I go a6, which is best to attack the bishop. He goes back, and I play knight b6 to attack the bishop again. He plays the move bishop to c2, and for a few minutes here, I was considering if taking on c3 was fine, because I saw that the queen could go to d3 and threaten checkmate. And it was fine. I ended up playing that, because if queen d3 were to happen, I saw basically I only have one move, g6 here. And then I was like, okay, bishop h6, he's going to attack my rook, but I don't know, what I'm totally missing the game is that if we were to play bishop h6, all of a sudden his rook's stuck, and I would just be promoting or winning his rook, so he can't play bishop h6 here. That was funny. So that's just here, it's just to take back, and then black's fine. You can even play a move like knight b4 here to trade off the bishop if you need to. So, no, there was no threat at all. In fact, Dhruva didn't even play queen e3, but just took back right away, and I play the move d6. He plays e takes on d6, queen takes, and I still have an extra pawn here, so if anything, like if he trades queens here, I'm just really happy to go into this endgame, because I'm queen pawn up. So therefore Dhruva declines the queen trade, goes queen e2, And here I was worried about knight e4, which looks like a very good move for white. And I was like considering like how to, and also like I have to keep guarding my bishop on to e7. I thought like white was better here. And here the best move is actually bishop g4, which I looked at. And I'm like, okay, he's going to go h3. And then I have to do something about my bishop. Engine here just says to trade. And then play knight d4. And you're going to trade your knight for the powerful white bishop, and you're fine. I was kind of worried about if here bishop g4, knight e4. But apparently you can just slide your queen here. And there's no danger. So I played the move bishop. Actually, I'll point this out. I was also considering the move f5 to try to control e4 directly, but this also doesn't work. This isn't a good move because white can just do natural development with bishop e3, prepare to swing the rook over. And even though you're up a pawn, white is getting very active very quickly. But my move isn't much better. I play the move bishop f6, and I'm sort of baiting him to play knight e4, which he does. And after queen e7, I was expecting him to trade the knight for the bishop on f6, which he does, except I thought this was best, but it's not. Engine here just says to go bishop e3. You're threatening to play bishop c5 to skewer the queen to the rook. So you have to play this awkward move knight to d7. And then white gets very harmonious play in the middle of the board with rook a to d1. And you can't really do much here. Like if, let's say you want to go b6 to fianchetto, then one of the best moves here is to play the move bishop b1, which is a very weird move, or even play rook takes d7. And if, let's say, bishop takes, to play queen d3. And there's all sorts of threats of taking an f6 and taking an h7. So let's see, engine recommends here bishop f5, takes. And at the end of the day, even though no one's up many material, white has two minor pieces for the rook and pawn. And 9 times out of 10, this is great for the side with the two minor pieces. Also, one line is after, let's see, this, queen d3, yeah, I already showed this, like, can even play like rook takes d7, and this is another line, queen takes, and then play the move queen to c2, and then there's all sorts of threats again. So I'm just saying that there's possibilities of the exchange sacrifice on d7. But Dhruva here plays the move knight takes f6, queen takes, and I was a little bit worried because after bishop g5, he's going to gain some tempo on my queen, and I don't really have a great spot for my queen to go to. Like, I can't take here. I hang this, just in case you guys were wondering. And see, I don't really want to go like here because white can just bring a rook over, attack my queen again. Okay, I can move my queen, let's say c5, and then white can play here, queen e4, if g6, white, yeah, this is just very good for white here, queen h4, and then queen f6 is coming, and this is not pleasant at all. So I was also thinking about this move knight d4, and let's see, if the knight takes, I was debating with I can either take on the bishop or the knight. More importantly, if he does this, I would just go into this endgame with the doubled pawns, and this is relatively equal. But this point, I go queen e6, and I have about 45 minutes, and he has about 50 minutes, so spent some time here. So queen e6, he plays queen d3, and I blitz out queen g6. That's the only move that I can play here to defend both the checkmate and save my queen. And again, I really like queen trades. Like, I'm up a pawn here, and I would likely go on to win the endgame if he trades queens. So he doesn't trade. He plays queen d2. And we each have 40 minutes here. And I play queen h5. And here is where, after queen h5, I'm like, okay, I knew white was better, but now maybe I'm not that much worse anymore. Because my queen is on a relatively safe square, not really any pieces that can attack it. set up a pawn, and I can just develop my bishop and connect my rooks, and I'll be fine. So queen h5, rook a d1 is what Dhruva played, which is a mistake because I can play bishop g4 and add some pressure on the pinned knight. He plays bishop e4, and I was thinking about, okay, in a blitz game I would play h6, but I spent a little bit of time here, like a few minutes, and I played the best move, which is f5. And the point of f5 is that if the bishop moves like away from defending the knight, I would just take the knight on f3 and basically win another pawn here. Like, let's see, bishop c2, takes, queen f3. And even though I'm up 2 pawns, engine still says it's relatively equal, but to me it looks like I'm just better. So let's see, if I were, he after f5 played bishop takes c6, pawn takes, and he played the move bishop e7, which looked a little weird because I thought he would do something about the knight, like maybe play queen e3 or something, or queen e3 here. But he plays bishop e7, I play rook e8, and his knight is still kind of in a bad spot. Like he at first thought he could play the move rook d3, but I realized that here I can just take, and his rook can't take because he has to defend his bishop on e7. So after rook e8, he plays queen c3, and I'm -2 here. I have a simple fork in the position, knight d5, and this is just a clean fork on the queen and the bishop. But I didn't play that for some reason. I first played the move bishop takes f3. I was more drawn to focusing on the knight on f3. And here I have 34 minutes, and Dhruva has 28 minutes. And he plays g takes f3, probably not wanting to trade queens. And here I sacrifice the rook. Rook takes e7. Brilliant move. I basically win a piece here. And if the rook takes, queen g5, and I fork the king and the rook, and I get my rook back, and I merge a piece up. And here, Dhruva missed this resource, and I could tell he was upset because he was shaking his head a bit, and he felt that he was better out of the early middle game, and he blundered this move. So rook takes e7, brilliant move. He plays queen b3 check, and well, I just tuck my king on h8. And here, the rest of the game is pretty simple. I think Dhruva was just hallucinating here. He thought h4 sort of prevents queen g5, but I can just take it and still defend the rook. Queen c2, I trade rooks. Queen f6, defend both of my pawns. The conclusion of the game is pretty simple. He tries to threaten some sort of back rank mate. I go h6, no more back ranks. b3, knight d5, I'm trying to go to f4. Queen c4, check, king f1, knight f4, threatening mate. He plays rook e3, and the quickest way to win is to play rook d8, to cut the king's escape squares on the d file. And after queen c2, he tries to guard the check on the back rank, but that fails because of queen g2. And in this position, Dhruva resigned the game. He didn't let me mate him on g1. Yeah, so in this position, Dhruva resigned the game. And, yeah, we end up winning against Dhruva. Very rewarding outcome considering he's 1, higher rated, and 2, I got revenge on him from last time. So our track record is 1.5 to 1.5 here. And what's even better, third thing, is that I'll recross 1800 most likely, because I believe I'll gain at least 10 points from this win. And yeah, I was really glad that I won this game. And if we take a look at the accuracy, I played at 90.8, and Dhruva played at 79.1. So, yeah, he was definitely better around the bishop f6 part especially, but we still got the job done in the end. So, felt really happy after that game. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys for watching. If you like content like this, please don't forget to smash the subscribe button below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my videos. And, yeah, have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.